All right, so the big thing is obviously our defense side of the ball.
Yes.
Does Trent McDuffie follow A.J. Brown around, or do you think we're going to throw, like you said, are we just going to dial up different type of packages, blitzes, coverages? How are we going to attack to miss him? Because I believe last time Snead followed A.J. Brown pretty much the whole fucking game.
Well, I don't think necessarily as great as McDuffie is. I don't think he's actually going to follow him. I think on big downs, on big plays, on big third downs, on big passing downs. I think you wouldn't be surprised. I personally would not be surprised if McDuffie's on A.J. Brown or or A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith. Well, obviously Watson's going to be on the other one. But A.J. Brown is their big body guy, and I think McDuffie would probably follow him more. I don't think he's going to travel with him because I think defensively, when it comes to it, we're going to have to give such a muddy disguise where I don't think we're going to supply a lot of man. We'll play man when we come out in our weird blitz form, when we blitz out of our corner slot. McDuffie's a great blitzer, so I don't necessarily think he's going to follow. And again,
I'm not 100% on the name of the OC of the Philadelphia Eagles.
It's Kellen Moore.
That's right, Kellen Moore. So you have Kellen Moore versus Spags.
Yes.
Coach for coach, who do you think has the upper hand in that matchup? OC versus the DC.
Well, you got to give the nods to the Eagles solely off of Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
You have to be able to stop Saquon Barkley. If you can't stop Saquon Barkley, then it really doesn't matter because you can't open up the playbook. But Kellen Moore, no one's necessarily, has drooled over themselves about how great of an OC that he is or isn't.
Yes.
But I still give the edge and experience to Spags. Like
Okay.
you can't knock Saquon Barkley when he gives an offense.
So when you go, we give the edge to our DC because of the experience. Now when you go,
let's put it this way, but it's kind of like on the fence. Spags was on the Giants DC when they beat the undefeated Patriots and Tom Brady
with Randy Moss and Boyd. So 1 there to Kansas City. Now our defense versus their offense. Now just as the players, take out the coaches as players. Those guys going out there in the trenches. Is it a slight above edge to the Eagles just because of how Saquon's been, or are you still sticking with our Kansas?
Well, it's kind of tough to.
Or is it?
I'm not trying. I'm trying my best to be unbiased. Like when we throw up the big stars, Jalen Hurts, Saquon, Goddard, AJ,
absolutely,
Devontae Smith. But on the Chiefs, you got Watson, you got McDuffie, you got Chris Jones, Charles Onion, Nick Bolton,
absolutely,
and the Greek freak George Karlaftis. The one thing I will say, and the Eagles have a great O-line, so you can't diminish that at all either. Then you have Justin Reed. So we have the star power on both sides. Now, the Chiefs' defense has been turnover hungry here in the past handful of weeks. Not necessarily against Buffalo or against the Texans, because we didn't get none.
Well, we also look at our defense sometimes lets the running game get off very quickly, and then we shut it down very.
In the bigger moments, it seems like we do get them. But Saquon, as great as he is.
We got to think about the Eagles want to get him outside. They don't want him inside. They want him outside. And we're really great at bringing you
fast. That's why I'm saying that they need to be able to set the edge. Our D line needs whoever's the defender needs to set the edge and to force him back in. The reason why I'll give our barely. And honestly, Saquon is just a phenomenal, generational looking type talent now with the Eagles. Yes. But I think our D-line is much bigger. Our D-line is much bigger than the Eagles' O-line.
Well, I wanted to bring up this.
Could cause issues overall.
I bring up this is because the last time these two played the Super Bowl, they had Jason Kelce, who took on Chris Jones pretty much one-on-one for the most part. He was the guy that was on Chris. They don't have that no more. Like you said, there is questions at the center position for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that is huge because if you have to bring another guy to take on Chris Jones, boy, here comes Chris. Here comes,
it's just kind of like I said, the Chiefs' D-line has to play contain on the pass. They're going to do passing lanes, make Jalen Hurts sit back there and throw, and trust the coverage in the back end, which we did against Buffalo, which we are clearly capable of doing. And giving Spags and Andy Reid, because the head coach should be on both sides. Yeah. You have Andy Reid and Spags 2 weeks to coach up the guys and set the edge and like, look, this is what we need to be. And how selfless Chris Jones is. Chris Jones wants to make it all about him. He can, and he'll get his sacks, he'll get his numbers, but it'll cause a loss. Chris Jones has to set the mantra. He has to come out and set the tempo on defense.
Now let's shift over to the Eagles' defense. Now they have some young guys over there. Cooper from Iowa, Darius Slay, who's a veteran. They have pretty much their whole fucking D-line's pretty much Georgia boys. Let's be honest, they got them Georgia boys up front.
Yep, Jalen Carter.
And so they're now, mind you, their defensive coordinator,
his defensive coordinator is Vic Fangio,
who is 0-7 against the Kansas. Yeah, he's 0-7 against the Patrick Mahomes. 0-7. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. I think people are.
He does not fare well against Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes
a lot of points and a lot of. I think Mahomes averages almost 300 yards. I'm not quite right.
I think it's 320, right around the 320 range.
And we average about 28 points a game against Vic Fangio. Defense.
Now this Eagles defense is young. They're hungry. They have a lot of different guys in a lot of different places. Like I said, a lot of Georgia Bulldogs.
But so let me ask you. So who do you give the edge to? Do you give the edge to Vic Fangio? Or do you give the edge to, I mean, let's be fair. All right, let's just do our OC. Do you give it to our, Nagy? Or do you give it to Vic Fangio?
I'd go Matt Nagy. I'm sorry. Because he's 0-7 against him.
Because of Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Because Andy Reid's going to do his little sprinkle in there. Little corn dog action, baby. Can't forget about corn dog now.
Chip lost.
So, but again, when you jump over to then when you think about all the stars and the young talents that were on that defense in Philadelphia, and you look at the stars on the Kansas City Chiefs offense, obviously, I would say Chris Humphrey, our center, is a star. Patrick Mahomes. That's the GOAT. Like a GOAT star. Like that's not a superstar or star, that's a GOAT. Travis Kelce, that's a GOAT. Then you get into Xavier Worthy, who again is a rookie, mind you, last year, at the same time, had another rookie in Rashid Rice that Patrick did it with. So then after those three guys, it becomes into a bunch of filler. Kareem Hunt being a dog. Isaiah Pacheco being a dog.
Those dudes aren't fillers.
They're not fillers, but like
wide receiver we fill in. Like we have Hops.
D-Hop. Like D-Hop. I'm looking for D-Hop.
So who do you get the edge to? Who do you get the edge to on the coaching part of it? Do you give it to Vic Fangio or Andy Reid?
Andy Reid. You can't. It's not even close. I don't even think. I think that's further apart than it is against the DC and OC.
Well, to me, our DC, it's hard because of what he has to go.
What's the reason for Kellen Moore? It's so hard because Spags, again, go back to that final play for the Buffalo. When he moved the motion, Josh did. Nobody knew. So he's like, oh man, they're in a zone, and then boom, he came off. Josh had no time. They didn't know that the blitz was coming from that. Spags is so good at dialing up a blitz, and our guys don't even fucking flinch. They don't let you know that they're in it.
So we both agreed we have the coordinators.
We have the coordinators on both ends.
And then, so when it comes to special teams, I think we have the edge there as well.
Yes.
It's not really a comparison. We honestly...
Our special teams is fine.
But Butker's the dude's a dude. But then it comes to head coach.
No, our head coach is Miles Head. Like Nick Sirianni, I've said this for the last couple of years. You have two. What is Nick Sirianni's actual role within this organization? Because we saw what he's looked like with great OC and DCs. Phenomenal. We saw what he looked like without a great DC and OC. Goddamn near like dude is a tiki time bomb waiting to happen.
Would you take Nick Sirianni or would you take the Bills head coach?
Sean McDermott? I would take Sean McDermott. I would. Just for...
Well, at least he knows how to coach a team.
He knows how to coach a team.
And he's a great DC.
He's a great DC, even though in some...
As a DC, he's a great DC, but overall, as a decision maker...
Horrible.
But not so much. So, we have the coaching edge.
We have the complete coaching edge. Now, when we talk
okay, Eagles offense, Chiefs offense. Who do you give the edge to? Who wins that in totality?
The Eagles offense in totality.
Yes.
And that is, again, I love my Chiefs, but when you look at the offensive side of the ball for the Philadelphia Eagles, I mean, good God, just just take a look around. You're looking at all pros, all Pro Bowlers. They have it all, from O-line to tight end to wide receiver to even the running back. When you go over to our offensive
What's the
side,
X factor for them? What's the Eagles' X factor on offense?
they're tight end. When you said previously in the episode, their offense, because he's a wild card. AJ Brown, we've already seen what he can do in the Super Bowl. We know how to take him out of his game. His game is not elevated or changed. Now, Smith was not there last time, but he is a smaller, he's a great route runner, but I think he will. I don't think Smith was there the last. Well, was he there?
He was there.
Was he a rookie at that point?
No, I think it was like his second year.
Second year, okay. Well, Saquon is the guy that can make everything open up for them if we don't contain the run game. But I think if the run game gets stopped, their tight end will be a great addition, because like I said, sometimes we just give up that open field.
So you have the X factor as the tight end. My X factor, as great as Dallas Goedert is, I still think that the biggest X factor is Saquon Barkley. Because you have to commit so much to him to stop him, and even that sometimes isn't enough. So for me, it's that. What's your X factor for the Chiefs defensively?
Us defensively, I think it's Karlaftis and Chris. I'm going to split those two dudes, because Chris was not there the last time, so he's been itching at the bit to get back here. And Karlaftis...
Charles and Minahan.
Charles and Karlaftis are my two biggest X factors.
So the RD
Our D ends. Absolutely, they're the biggest X factors, because if Karlaftis and Chris contain that edge, shift Saquon in, he's going into everybody from Chris Jones to everybody in there.
Well, you force back into the teeth of the defense.
Teeth of the defense, and you already saw what Karlaftis can do if he gets hot.
Yeah,
and he's getting to the quarterback at will. And sometimes, like you said, Jalen Hurts hesitates. He waits in at your second, and that is something you cannot do against those two dudes coming off the edge.
And again,
especially if you have to commit an extra guy to double team Chris Jones.
I just don't think this Jalen Hurts isn't the Jalen Hurts of 2 years ago. There's no argument there. Nobody can argue that fact, because it's just not.
And he's even said in this playoff run that he feels like he's been handicapped.
He feels like he's in a straitjacket.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what's a shot at.
That's
an argument for a completely different time.
That would be an argument for after the Super Bowl, how he looks.
That's an off-season argument.
Yes.
My X factor is going to be the linebacker core.
Linebacker core, so McDuffie.
As a whole. Linebacker.
Linebacker. So Tranquill. Yes, absolutely. Okay,
that's because they're going to. Because as much as I think you're going to see a lot of Mike Pinnell, 69. I think you're going to see a lot of him in there because you need the big boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there a lot of rundowns, but I think our D line, I think it's going to do their job, but it's going to be to the linebacking core, which we are fast. We're fast. Chanel's a beast of a beast. Like, the dude climbed a 2-story bus.
Nick Bolt is some of the smartest linebackers in the national football.
Is going to have an otherworldly game.
Nick Bolton is probably the most disrespected linebacker in the fucking game right now.
Well, I feel like Nick Bolton kind of took a step back this year, honestly.
Well,
but again, that's off topic.
Now,
so that's what I got. So moving to the special teams. Let's go to the special teams side.
Harrison.
So who's the X factor for the Eagles on special teams if they have one?
I don't know who. I guess their X factor is, can they create a turnover? Can you get a turnover? Because against the Commanders, they shifted the whole fucking game right before halftime.
So can they create a turnover?
Can they create turnovers on special teams?
And then on the Chiefs? So that's not necessarily next time. That's more of like something that the special teams as a whole, as a whole teams unit needs.
As a whole unit, they need to be able to create a turnover.
The Chiefs special teams unit, do we have an X factor?
Honestly, the X factor is gonna sound weird. The attention to detail is who is the weakest link on your special team. We're very great at attacking a certain point. When you go to all of our blocked field goals, we paid attention in film. Who was the guy that stood up, didn't lean to the left or to the right? We saw against the Buffalo Bills. The Houston Texans. First play, damn near went for a touchdown. So, Harrison Butker is a big X factor because he can make it from damn near anywhere about 65 yards and up. He's the huge X factor. So I just think again it comes down to our special teams as a full unit. Can they capitalize on a weak link in their special teams, whether it be a field goal unit, kickoff unit?
Well, for me, it's my X factor is Nico Remigo, which is I think he's 81 or 89. He's the guy that we brought up off of the practice squad, who's been our kick returner.
Yes,
to me,
he's been a full firecracker, dude.
He's our biggest, can potentially be our biggest X factor. I expect Butker to be money as he always is, and obviously I agree with you that
just
the attention to details. If special teams on either side can create a turnover, would be huge.
Massive.
But I think Nico is going to be able to
now.
If he can give us I think he has the ability to give us a humongous spark like he did against the Texans on the opening kickoff.
Yeah,
he did fumble it, and I was playing like he really did, but he really did. He fumbled it.
He did.
I was making jokes, but he really did. But I think Nico could potentially in this game. I think he might potentially be able to break one. Whether it be a kickoff or on a punt.
Well, the reason I would agree with you on that is because the Eagles or special teams are very over aggressive because they're so looking for the strip. They're not really looking to wrap up. They're you know what I mean?
I just think we kind of have a little bit dominant or rough there in Nico, and he's just straight special teams guy, but the dude's electric when he gets the ball.
Now you move to our offensive side of the ball. Who's the X factor? Is it the obvious guy in a Travis Kelce, a Patrick Mahomes, or is it the complementary pieces? Is it a D-Hop? Is it a Juju? Is it your guy that's been activated off IR?
The boy, Sky Moore, dog, don't.
I'm sorry, guy. I had to Sky Moore got activated off IR. He's in his.
Don't give me a false Sky. Don't give me a false Sky Moore. No. I can do what you do, dog. I can drop passes. No. So let me put it this way. The Eagles play a lot of zone. And in zone, the middle of the field is open. Vic Fangio plays a lot of zone and passing down.
Yes.
So, everybody out there kind of betting. But the side note, I'd go high. I'd go really high on Travis Kelce having a big game. Travis Kelce also is a really big dark horse to win Super Bowl MVP. Would not put that past that, not happening. But all that's put out there, honestly, like, all right, I
have two.
The X factor for me is going to be probably Worthy.
Okay.
That's my X factor because I expect Patrick Mahomes to be LeBron James, Michael Jordan. I expect him to elevate the game and go to the next level.
You expect Travis to do it.
And I expect Travis to be Travis Kelce. This is the game of games. 2 weeks off. He's 35. I expect that. I expect our O-line. The biggest question on our O-line, because obviously we haven't heard anything, but Joe Thuney is going to be playing left tackle again. But
we have backups in case we need to move people.
Well, we do. Our left guard's been our biggest weakness there. Left guard.
Oh, left guard.
Not right tackle.
Sorry, my apologies.
Juwan Taylor has that played his best game of his life again. Line up properly because that's only really his big issue.
Yep.
But a lot of the Eagles' best D-line are also interior. And that's
Jalen Carter.
And that's great for me because go fuck with Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith. Good luck. Travis Kelce, I think, is going to be him. Now, I'll be really curious to see what we draw up for Hopkins. Hollywood Brown. They've been teammates before, on the Cardinals. This is the biggest stage they've ever been.
No one saw Hollywood in the regular season outside of the final game.
And we saw how we used Hollywood to open up against the Bills.
And I thought he caught it. I think he caught it.
Hollywood
Brown, that catch right out the fucking gate.
Oh. How we used Hollywood, we got banged him really quickly. I would not be surprised if you don't see something very similar with Xavier Worthy.
My two are the two acquisitions to this team: Kareem Hunt and DeAndre Hopkins. I think these are dudes that I'm looking to step up. A dude who I am very happy and honored that is back on the Kansas City Chiefs, and Kareem Hunt. Fuck you, TMZ. Stand
Look, back. He did it. Look.
I don't give a fuck that he did it. Fuck you, TMZ. I'm just looking for these. This is a D-Hop who, people have clowned on in his interviews, talking about, this is the moment. This is the moment that he's been waiting for his whole career. Kareem Hunt, who's going to be running back one for us. It's already, because Isaiah is still struggling to come back from the injury, which is fair. He It's frustrating for him, but I think he's
we'll
still
feed
going to be.
I think we'll feed the hot hand at right
Yeah,
now.
regardless. But I'm looking for Kareem Hunt and D-Hop to step up and help my Travis Kelce, who is 35, my Patrick Mahomes, and again, I hope Xavier Worthy has a big game. This is a big moment for him. How will he respond being in this moment? I think he's going to be ready. I think he's going to be important, but those are my two guys.
But Xavier Worthy with his
But again, D-Hop's been there with him, helping him be ready for these moments as well.
Let me rephrase. I need Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt to be huge in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I need Andy Reid to understand that we need these two dudes.
They need to feast. They need to eat. I need Isaiah Pacheco's energy. I need him hitting the ground, being tackled, and jumping up. And just
letting those guys know that I'm going to defeat you.
I don't care. I'm going again. I need Isaiah Pacheco. I need last year's Isaiah Pacheco. I get the injury, and I get how Kareem has looked, but I need more. I need 60-65% snaps for Isaiah versus Kareem. Kareem Hunt, I need you in short yardage, and we need to use Kareem Hunt in the passing game.
Yeah.
But your X factor is Kareem Hunt and Hops.
Yes.
Could you say maybe potentially do we get like a Julio Jones throwback game for Hops?
Could be. And I can't forget Juju, because the last time Juju played these Eagles, he tore them up too.
I mean, he could be. I think Juju could be. We have.
This is a better wide receiving core
than
last year. And that's saying a lot.
You can say it was a better wide receiver core than the first time.
Yeah. So
unfortunately, we don't have Rashee Rice. So you have kind of two guys, Kareem Hunt, which if he's going, Isaiah's going, but whoever's hot is hot, and I think the running backs will be big out of the backfield, catching and running.
Because the reason I look at D-Hop is because when I look across the field,
but he's been quiet.
So you're not gonna put your best guy, and you're gonna put maybe the rookie on him, and D-Hop gonna take advantage of that. He throw it up there. D-Hop gonna go get it. So
I just don't know if there's any weakness in that secondary.
So they're
gonna expose it.
So you asked me, Chiefs defense, whatever. So when you look at our offense versus the Eagles defense, who do you give the edge to?
It's
or is it kind of like
it's like the Eagles. You give the edge to the Eagles because of Saquon Barkley, which is funny because it's a running back, but we're in agreement. And I think anybody with any kind of mind would agree that you give the edge to the Eagles because of him. It's the Chiefs because of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
And Andy Reid.
I agree. So this obviously is a no-brainer question. What is your prediction of this game? Give me the score. What is it? Is it a regulation? Are we going to overtime?
There's no overtime. As much as I would love a blowout so I can bask in the glory of a three-peat, the Chiefs winning it, and I think it's the first to 24.
I have it 29-24. Kansas City.
Like I said it with the Buffalo game. I don't know if I said it on here, but I said the Buffalo game. I said
the first one to third.
I said the first one to 27.
That's right.
And the Chiefs were the first one to 27, and then they kicked in the field goal to win. But I think the first one to 24 will win this game. And I will say here, and I'll put money on it, Saquon Barkley will not rush for 100 yards. There has not been a 100-yard rusher since
standing on business
since the Chiefs 49ers game, and it was the Kansas City Chiefs Damian Williams who rushed for 100 and some odd yards against the Niners.
That's fair.
I do not think he gets over 100 yards rushing, and if he does not get over 100 yards rushing, the Eagles take the L, and the Chiefs will get the three-peat. And I hope the refs help us all they can, and with all the spots.
Wrapping the Super Bowl talk up, the Kansas City Chiefs, in case they do win, have arranged an agreement with Pat Riley, who owns the trademark for the three-peat, which I think is the stupidest fucking. How can you own? For you guys that don't know, Pat Riley,
he owns 4 different slogans of
the three-peat. So they came to an agreement on something that they can use.
Pat Riley
He's still gonna get a percentage of it, but
but he was if you all win, you can
use it. So that's crazy in itself.
That's funny because I was trying to think, man, So the opposite of the fear, I'm like, it's going to be Chiefs. It'd be Chiefs with the S being a 3-peat. Like how is it going to be?
I do like that the Chiefs reached out and went ahead and got that established in case it's over and they do win. And you're not having to worry about a legal batter.
Well, it's not a real legal battle.
Or just giving him his cut. Yeah, so they went ahead and got that out of the way. But shout out Pat Riley, man. He's out here finessing people that are trying to get 3 people.
Well, he owns like 3 trademarks of that because I think he was the last.
I mean, how the Bulls had to pay him, dude.
Yeah, I think he was the last out of the Bulls, but he was the last person to get 3 peat.
So, but shout out Pat Riley. So, we both agree our Kansas City Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. We're getting the 3-peat.
Weren't the Bulls the last team to 3-peat?
Yeah.
So that would have been him.
No, that would have been Phil Jackson.
Oh, that's right, Phil Jackson in 3-peat.
I think Pat Riley got it from like in the 80s and like the 70s and 80s with the Knicks and the Lakers and all that shit. I don't know how he finessed that, but he did. And the star of our show has left, ladies and gentlemen. We have lost our star of the show. So, moving off the football talk, before we get into massive trade talk and stuff that has happened, there are some things that I want to talk to you about that have happened in the NBA. Andre Iguodala. Obviously, he's played for a couple teams in his career. He was a one-time All-Star. He's a 4-time NBA champion. He was on the 04-05 rookie team, 2-time All-Defensive team, and he was a Finals MVP in the 2014-15 season for holding LeBron to 40 points.
Hey, now,
so I'm just saying, he got an MVP.
I just want you yelling at me when someone drops 40 on me now, okay? When someone drops 40 on me, you're going to be mad.
I want to read this off to you clean as day.
Okay.
Andre Iguodala played 1,231 games.
Okay.
He only averaged 11 points.
Okay.
5 boards.
Okay.
4 assists.
Yeah.
Shot 46% from the field.
Okay.
33% from 3.
Okay.
70 from the free throw line, and had an efficiency of 51.
Okay.
The Golden State Warriors retired his number 9. I don't know if you saw that. Now, I just want to know, does he deserve...
Oh, yeah. Finals MVP, baby. Yeah, give him all the love.
And that's not taking nothing away from him, but man, I don't know. Like, he wasn't like... It's not like you drafted him there. He was there for, obviously, 4 of their championships, but he bounced around the league.
He got them their first ring.
He was the Finals MVP. He got LeBron to 40.
Like, he did his job. He's not 40.
He's also on the other side of being blocked by LeBron. So
he's in the Warriors at this moment.
His jersey was retired by the Golden State Warriors. I just want to know, was it deserved?
No.
I don't think it was deserved.
Okay.
And there's people out here that say he deserved it. Okay. I just don't think he deserved it.
Let me
11 points per game?
Let me rephrase. If I am the owner, no. As a fan, you gotta think about it. Yeah, absolutely, he deserves his number retired. Finals MVP,
4-time
champ. Absolutely deserves his number. He was the start of that mini dynasty that the Golden State Warriors had. He was obviously, I guess, that dude that kind of led it, and he was involved in the biggest moments. The best team the Golden State Warriors ever had. He was
with Golden State from the 2013 to the 2014 season all the way up to the 18-19 season. He was there.
He was involved in all their chips, and yeah, I mean, in
his 8 years with Golden State, he averaged...
I think it's as a fan move.
Oh, shit. In his 8 years with the Golden State Warriors, he averaged 7 points.
As a fan, because in the biggest moments, and the Finals MVP, it's the Finals MVP for me. Like, yeah, I guess you couldn't give it to Bron; it would ruin the GOAT debate. But
in the playoffs, in the 7 years that they made the playoffs, and he was there, he averaged 9 points. That's crazy. He won a Finals MVP, dog. Oh shit, he won a Finals MVP. But yeah,
that's what happens when you play like 4.
Now, all right. So we are in agreement. No. But happy as a fan of that franchise.
I think Golden State Warrior fans are like like
nobody else can wear the number
happy about
9.
it.
Nobody else can ever wear the number 9.
Well, I
Golden
think
State.
as a Warriors fan, they're probably really excited about it. If I was an owner or had that decision, I'm not doing that because
Okay.
you're not Steph Curry, you're not Klay Thompson.
All right.
And honestly, to me, Draymond Green ain't even getting one. But granted, it's harder to get in my Ring of Honor.
Yes, you have different standards. Now, this next guy I want to bring up to you, he's got 2 jerseys retired. He's in the Hall of Fame. He's an 8-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. He was a 98-99 All-Rookie team. He was the 98-99 Rookie of the Year. Half man, half amazing. Vince Carter has 2 jerseys retired. He got one in Toronto, which we all could agree with. But the Nets retired his number. Now, I bring this up because I personally don't think he deserved. He played 5 years with the Nets. 5 years.
Yeah.
He had 7 years with the Raptors.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
In the regular season, with the Toronto Raptors, he was 23.4 points per game. In the 5 years with the Nets, 23. I understand the Toronto because the dunk contest.
Yes.
But why the Nets? He was there 5 years.
I have a very simple question. I have very simple. 5 years. I can make your mind so easy. Who do the Nets got?
Dr. J?
Okay, so yeah, no. Let's let Carter have that.
Okay.
They need somebody. They ain't got nobody. So yes, absolutely.
It's just tough for me because in the playoffs, in the 7 years with Toronto, playoff scoring, he only scored 9,000 points. With the Nets, he only scored 8,000 points. I mean, I don't like the fact that he got to be. Think about how many guys in totality have their number retired.
But how
Like
many
multiple franchises.
But Vince Carter is. Everybody knows who Vince Carter is.
Half man, half amazing.
And the Nets don't have nobody. Like you said, Dr. J. That's it. So like that puts him in the echelon, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He played 22 years in the league. Granted, he played.
I mean, he overstayed his welcome.
He
Probably
definitely
hasn't overstayed his welcome with the Heat, but like, you know, he did. And Vince Carter, to this day, he still does. Like, you were just an athletic freak, but like. Again, if I'm the Nets, like, no. But, like, as a fan, like, yeah, like, let me have, like, a Hall of Famer in my Ring of Honor.
Okay, so that's fair. And one more thing I want to touch on. Adam Silver
Yeah.
wants 10-minute quarters in the NBA. He wants to go from 48 minutes to 40 minutes.
I don't necessarily know if he wants it, but it's a talk to have because overseas leagues, they do 40 minutes games, and we do 48-minute games.
I say, I don't want to go to 10 minutes. I say change some of the defensive rules. Get rid of the 3-second call.
I don't like it because then you start changing stats. Be like, oh, well, people will play harder. No, because honestly, I don't care. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Why is we, the NBA, the National Basketball Association, why am I trying to conform to the lesser leagues? I'm not going to conform to you. I do like the paint where you can be in the paint. There's no defensive 3-second call.
I agree with that.
Or offensive 3-second call. Outside of that, no. Get fucked. We are the premium echelon of echelons. We got the money. We got the cash. We got the views. We got the best of the best playing in this league. No, get fucked. I don't like it. And honestly, like these players got to start. These players got to start playing in the goddamn games. Us as fans, we spend too much money to travel. Like us, like we have to travel 4 hours just to go see OKC play.
Yeah.
I got to travel an hour to go see the Chiefs play. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
People travel distances to see these NBA teams play just for the stars to sit out. Joel's played like maybe 12 games this year, and he's getting paid. Put his ass out there. Play. Like Kobe Bryant has always said, I might be hurt, but I'm playing because you might have saved up 2-3 years salary just to see me play this one game.
One game.
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
I'm going to work my ass just so I can afford my ticket to go see.
That might be the
game.
only time you ever get to see me play.
Like we're trying to go see the Lakers and OKC. And
In
we're
April.
praying and hoping that now we get to see LeBron and Luka, SGA, play against each other. Like we're praying that we get to see that. Now, granted, we get to see Luka and OKC play in the
against the Thunder last year in the playoffs. We got to experience that.
But like again, it's a fan's experience. You're getting. It's not like you're a 9 to 5, dog. You're playing basketball. We're talking about
You got 48
basketball.
minutes, sometimes maybe a back-to-back. You're getting some of the best around-the-clock treatment in the fucking world. You have some of the best technology in the world at your disposal.
And honestly, like, when it comes to so, on your question, no.
I don't want to see it.
No, fuck that. Because it's kind of like how like they want to give another game to the NFL. If you change the minutes down, you might as well just stop the records and start anew, because those 8 minutes is a big difference. Just think about like Kobe. Would Kobe ever hit the what was it, 80 point
He had the 81-point game.
81 point game. He never would have hit 81 points game. Or his last game of his NBA career,
61 points.
He never would have hit it with those last 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So no, I don't like
because the first 5 minutes of that game, he didn't make a shot. So that's 5. Think about it, he only had 3 minutes left to. So yeah, no, he wouldn't have got. No, I'm not.
I don't like it. It doesn't change enough. That honestly, that just hurts the rotational guy, because your starters will still play. Like they'll still get their minutes, and then the guys that are trying to make the roster, the two-way guys, the G League guys that are called up, just will get less exposure. And I'm not here for that the same way. I still think the preseason is still semi-valuable.
Yeah.
So no, I don't like it.
So we agree on that. All-Star break is coming up.
Alright, so I got the All-Star breakdown for you guys. We got the 2025 All-Stars. Team Shaq got LeBron James, the King, Steph Curry on the Warriors, Jason Tatum on the Celtics, Damian Lillard off the Bucks, Jaylen Brown off the Celtics, James Harden on the Clippers, KD off the Suns, and Anthony Davis now on the Dallas Mavericks.
We'll get to that later. Stay tuned. We're gonna get there.
That's Shaquille O'Neal's team.
All right.
Team Kenny.
Let's get it.
We got Anthony Edwards. We got Ant on the Timberwolves. We got Jaren Jackson off the Grizz. We got Darius Garland off the Cavs. Go Cavs. We got the Pistons. Pistons, baby. Cade Cunningham.
Shout out Cade Cunningham, baby.
We got Knicks, Jalen Brunson. We got the Thunder, Jalen Williams. We got the Cavs, Evan Mobley, and then the Heat's Tyler Hero. Shout out to Tyler Hero, baby. That's Kenny's team. And then we got Team Chuck. They got Joke off the Nuggets. You got Giannis off the Bucks. You got Victor Wembanyama, motherfucking Giannis off the Spurs.
They got those three. Oh, fuck that shit. Nah, dog, no.
They got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander off the Thunder. Pascal Siakam off the Pacers. They have Karl Anthony Towns, a.k.a. Cat, off the Knicks.
Dude, he got all the big men. Oh, fuck, dude.
They got Donovan Mitchell off the Cavs. And then they have the Rockets.
Shogun. Yeah, I can't say it.
Sengun, who's averaging...
He's having a phenomenal season, dude.
Well, this dude's averaging 19 points and 10 boards. Victor's averaging 10 boards. Giannis averaging 12. Joker's averaging 13. And Cat's averaging 14. Dude, you ain't getting into that paint. They're going to beat the shit out of you. That's Barkley's team.
Now, Brandon just let off all the All-Stars to you. The represented teams in the All-Star format. But there's a guy that's named that I didn't hear called that I think was the biggest snub. It's the only guy I want to talk about. The only guy because nobody else really matters.
I got the snubs. I got about the top 2, 4, 6 snubs. LaMelo Ball off the Hornets. Devin Booker off the Suns. Kyrie Irving off the Dallas Mavericks. Zach LaVine off... Well, he's not on the Bulls no more, so it's a little outdated. But Zach LaVine, Tyrese Maxey of the 76ers, and Norman Powell.
And mind you, Zach LaVine is now on the Sacramento Kings, but we'll get there.
He's on the Sacramento Kings.
He's on the Sacramento Kings now. Listen, LaMelo Ball to me was the biggest All-Star snub for this simple fact, and this simple fact only. He was number 1 in fan voting. The fans wanted him in. He was 4th in coach voting. But the fucking media had him at number 7. That's a huge... He's averaging 28 points per game, man. That's crazy.
So doesn't that, to me... The All-Star game has a lot of problems because it's not competitive no more.
No.
The same way the Pro Bowl's not really competitive.
No.
It's weird. It's a bunch of gimmicks. But isn't that kind of a problem that the fans... They're like, hey, fans, vote. Like, you have a say. And then the person that gets the most votes don't even get in. Then they're like, why are the views down?
Like
because we can't see the dude we want to see because he's in fucking
Think about
Charlotte.
that. All the guys in the NBA, from your LeBrons, the KDs, your Currys, your Ants, your Lucas, your Victors, they wanted LaMelo Ball. He was the #1 leading vote getter from the fans. They wanted LaMelo in. He's done in fucking Charlotte. What do you see in a fucking Charlotte game?
Honestly, I didn't know Charlotte even had live television games. I thought maybe you need like the
LaMelo out here carrying an entire franchise and a fan base apparently out there on his goddamn back that didn't get in.
I would have loved for him to be in the All-Star game. The skill challenge. Do something so we can see his skill time because the dude is hillaciously talented and being wasted away.
Unfortunately, the trade deadline passed and he did not get out of Charlotte. What a shame.
He was team strike and the Hornets told him to get bent, which rightfully so because he's a great young talent and it's just a shame that he didn't make it because again the NBA and the executives are like, well, why the viewership's down? Because the Hornets suck.
You gave the fans
and we want to see
LaMelo
Ball
and you didn't
play,
give them what they wanted.
and we don't get to see LaMelo Ball play because he's on a bad, crappy team and on a small market team, and we can't see him play. Zion Williams was supposed to be the next big thing and can't stay off the gumbo, or apparently he's not allowed to play back-to-back, whatever that's about. So, no, like, you want to know why? Because you force-feed us.
This is what we need, Brandon. We've been calling for this since we started this podcast. I need the media to put their fucking names next. I need to know your credentials on what you're voting on, how you're voting, and are you even watching the motherfucking game?
Like
the media needs to be.
Who voted in these All Stars? Because you look at Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Both of them made it over him. I get the celebrities are doing. It's not. The All Star game is not based off of how great your team's doing. It's based off how great you are.
I mean, they got in over Maxey. I mean,
so like honestly, like.
Tyrese Maxey's 30 points per game for the Philadelphia 76ers.
So Tatum's technically a front court player.
Yeah.
So like, you got it over Jaylen Brown that's averaging 23 points and 6 boards. Okay. Darius Garland's averaging 21 and 6. Tyler Hero's averaging 24, 5 and 5, which that's a great year. But Jalen Williams is averaging 21, 5 and 5, which is still great. And that's OKC, so I'm not knocking that. But Cade Cunningham off the Pistons got in.
Yeah. Tyler Hero off the Miami Heat.
It's like, I mean, there's a lot of
It's
issues.
tough. The NBA's got to. You can't give the fans a voice and then take their voice away.
You can't be mad. Like, you can't be like, why is the viewership going down? But then when we say, hey, we want to see more of this guy, and you're like, no.
No, but we feel bad for LaMelo. But again, so now let's get into the trade deadline. Trade talk, and I think we're going to start on...
We're going to start January 21st, guys.
January 20th.
We're going to start a little before the trade deadline for the biggest trade of all trades. The Suns lands 3 first-round... I thought this was going to be a lot bigger news when the Suns did this. The Suns land 3 first-round picks. They gave a 2031 unprotected first-round pick for the 25 first-round pick from the...
Cleveland, Minnesota, or Utah. All these picks are they're favorable first-round picks from Cleveland, Minnesota, or Utah.
From 2025, 2027, or 2029.
The Suns got all these.
The Utah one in 25 is protected and 2029 is protected. I know, shit's kind of weird.
Yep.
But we jump up to February 1st. Clips trade for Tucker to the Jazz. Clippers receive Drew Eubanks and Patty Mills, while the Jazz received Mo Bamba and PJ Tucker, and then Mo Bamba got cut. Then we jump up to the biggest, like,
do we want to start right there, or do we want to come back to that one? Or do you want to hit that?
We'll skip that.
We'll skip that one, come back.
Go ahead and get
Let's jump up to the King, or the February 2nd, the Spurs acquire Fox from the Kings.
So we'll get to the pretty much kind of close to the trade deadline. We got the Spurs receive Darren Fox and Jordan McLaughlin, and the Kings receive Zach LaVine and Sidney Cisco, and they got a 2025 first from the Hornets, 27 first from the Spurs, 23 first from the Wolves, 25 second Bulls, 28 second, and 28 second from the Bulls. And the Bulls got Zach LaVine, Kevin Hunter, Trey Jones, and then a 2025 first round pick via the Spurs and a 3-team trade.
Yeah, absolutely. So you think about this. So the Kings get Zach LaVine, a guy that was actually supposed to go there in 2018, 2019. Yes. Had an offer sheet, but the Bulls matched it, so he did not go. he reunites in Sacramento with DeMar DeRozan. They were Bulls together. So
and with Sabonis.
And Sabonis. We also, Fox is now partnered with Wemby. Now, I think a lot of people understand that the Spurs did not give up any of their young talent. They kept Castle. They kept Johnson. They didn't give up CP3, who I thought would have been moved in this trade. So,
only thing they seemed like they really gave up was just a first-round pick.
So now we get to see a duo of Fox and Wemby. That's going to be...
And honestly, I think Chris Paul, I think CP3, he might be bought out. He might not. Depending on what he really wants to go try and maybe chase. Because, he probably have a couple more years of being a very, a good backup point guard.
Yeah.
CP3 point guard, as he's known throughout the league. But that'd be just great for Victor and De'Aaron Fox, both there. De'Aaron Fox, Victor Wembanyama, dude, and McCastle, dude. It was a great trade.
And then on February 4th, the Mavs landed Caleb Martin from the Mavs, who was previously on the Miami Heat. Remember, he had that great little run with the Heat. Wanted to be paid. They couldn't pay him. He ended up taking less money and went to the 76ers. He's been traded to the Mavs. Actually like this. The Sixers got Grimes and a 25 second round pick. I don't care. The Mavs getting Caleb, it doesn't help them defensively. It gives them great more front court play, or guard play, I should say.
I like to give them another guard, but there's also the Hornets swap picks with the Thunder. The Hornets get a 29 second round pick, and then the Thunder receive a 2030 conditional second round pick via the Nuggets. So.
Yep. Then on February...
That's no news.
Then on February 5th, Sid, who was in a trade to the Kings, he was sent to the Wizards for Jonas Valanciunas, which kind of shocked me. He's now a Sacramento King. So the Kings kind of rebuilt this team a little bit around Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and they got Valanciunas to pair with Sabonis, who now moves from the 5 to the 4.
Well, that's the biggest thing is you get Valanciunas, which is a big. He can spread the court. He can shoot. He can shoot threes, but he's a rim protector. He gets boards, which will lessen the impact on Sabonis and trying to control the paint and still keep it spread because, like I said, he can shoot. When I saw the streak go down, I was like, damn. I thought that would have been a really good option for, the Lakers and LeBron. But also, on February 5th, the Thunder and Pelicans, the Thunder got Daniel Theus and a second-round pick, and the Pelicans got cash.
Yep.
I didn't know if we see
now,
cash like that.
I want to, we got two more trades I want to talk about here that I think that are worth talking about.
We can skip the February 6th, the Celtics trade.
Yeah, I don't care about a lot of these trades were picks, small players, just moving cash around, moving picks around. The Golden State Warriors. We got to go there. Do you have that trade pulled up? I don't have that one pulled up.
That's not there, but I'll go get it.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not here. NBA, you got to do a little bit better on your website.
NBA.com, come on now, okay?
Come on now. But the Miami Heat did trade Jimmy Butler. Now, hate to break it to all you Suns fans out there, he did not go to Phoenix. Now, Jimmy Butler is going to be a Golden State Warrior. And it's very puzzling. It's confusing. Don't quite understand it. But Miami gave away Jimmy Butler. In return, they got, at that time, Andrew Wiggins, Dennis Schroeder, Kyle Anderson, and a protected first-round pick. That all went to the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler went to the Golden State Warriors. After that trade was done, the Golden State Warriors turned around and gave Jimmy Butler a 2-year extension, $121 million, giving him $60.5 million over 2 years. Mind you, this is a dude that's 35 years old, only averaging 17 points per game. He's not a volume shooter, not a great ball handler, and this isn't Jimmy Butler from fucking 4 years ago.
No.
And like Stephen A. Smith, who's somebody we don't normally agree with, he was asked on First Take, how does this trade help the Golden State Warriors? They're no better than they were yesterday or the day before or the day before that or the day after that. It didn't do anything for them. And people are out here literally going, oh, Jimmy Butler's on the Golden State Warriors. Great. So you're going to see a video of Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler fighting at practice. We're going to get it.
Jimmy Butler didn't want to go to the Warriors, and then the Warriors were like, Jimmy wanted an extension. He wanted that 2-year extension.
He wanted to be a Phoenix Sun.
He wanted to go to the Suns. So
he did.
So the full breakdown of all of it, the Warriors got Jimmy. The Heat got Andrew Wiggins, which I think is a great fit.
Yes.
Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, who then the Heat then turned and traded, and then he got PJ Tucker, then got traded again. They got a 2025 first-round pick that's a top 10 protected. Utah then got Dennis Schroeder, who then got traded like 3 more times. And then the Pistons got Lindsey Waters III, and then the Josh Richardson. But there was also a very before I get off this, I don't like Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. I don't know how that's helped them. I don't know how that moves the needle. If I'm Steph, I'm like, bro, get me the hell out of here because like you're not.
Well, you heard Steph's press conference, and Steph kind of just went over his accolades, and it didn't seem like that's the guy that Steph really wanted.
Like Jimmy's been to 2 NBA Finals. He went 6 games with the Lakers, and probably, in my opinion, the hardest NBA Finals ever in the bubble with no fans. There's no, you can't get to your family.
Yes.
I think that was one of the hardest championships ever, but the Lakers won that in 6, and then I do believe they got swept by the Nuggets.
Yeah, it wasn't even a contest.
And he got back again. So it's not like Jimmy's not a great player, but it's also Heat culture. It's also Eric Spoelstra and them. But they did get back there again, and then.
But again,
that was it. And like Jimmy's never been a high volume great shooter. Jimmy's never been like, oh, well, I'm gonna rim out on you. He's been a high tenacity defender, and I think just Jimmy's way past his prime. I don't like it. I don't like it for any.
Not for $60 million. I don't like that either.
Any team that I really don't like the contract, and like the Suns, if the Suns got him, I liked it. For the sole fact they would have gotten rid of Bradley Beal and had KD and Bogut, and Jimmy could have been just a dog.
That's what they needed.
He could have been a dog, which would have been
because you wouldn't have needed Jimmy to score on the Suns. He would have been there for defense, a purpose, like you said, that dog mentality,
which would have been a great fit.
But Bradley Beal said, "Phoenix get fucked. I have a no trade clause. I'm not giving that up.
I need to be somewhere
warm." And nobody warm wanted Bradley Beal.
Well, so no place really wanted him, or no place wanted him. There was a trade in place. It was a 3-team trade that was Warriors, Suns, and Heat, and had Kevin motherfucking Durant going back to the Warriors.
Durant said,
Bradley Beal being moved and Jimmy being moved to the Suns. Now I don't think Bradley Beal would have ended up on the Heat. They didn't. Woj didn't. I think Woj didn't elaborate on where Bradley Beal was going to land, but Bradley Beal was the one that was being moved. Had to be. To make all that work. But KD came to the front office and said, I don't want to go there. I don't want to be traded back to the Warriors. I don't want to be there.
I don't want to.
And so KD nicked that trade. It's not 100% confirmed, but it was confirmed by ESPN and the NBA guys. And could you imagine KD back with Steph?
It would have been a lot better than what the fuck they got.
I would be really curious what was all included in that trade for them. But that was the primary trade.
Yeah.
Was that because they wanted KD and then KD nicked it and said,
mind you, Golden State, think about this, guys. Golden State called every team about every superstar, from LeBron James to Paul George, Kevin Durant, LaMelo Ball. They were trying to get LaMelo. They tried. Hornets told them to get packing. And you ended up with a 35-year-old Jimmy Butler, and you gave him $60 million.
I think Jimmy's washed. I was saying on Jimmy's. It's hard to say Jimmy's washed, but like he's not moving the needle. He's not worth $60 million a year. I'm glad the dude got his money.
Gonna need you to get off fit because this is where things are about to get spicy.
I hope that he gets. I hope he earns his money there with the Warriors. But the Warriors probably going to miss the playoffs or be in the play-in tournament. And honestly, I don't see them going very far. But honestly, in my opinion, though, I think the biggest trade was the second biggest trade was the Zach LaVine and De'Aaron Fox.
Yes, yeah, that was the second best trade of the NBA trade deadline because if you watch the press conference with De'Aaron Fox, which I did, it seemed like a guy who was fed up with an organization. They fired their head coach mid-season. Didn't like that. Mike Brown, fired him. And it just looked like Fox wanted a reset. The problem with a lot of these young guys that come in and AU basketball is a problem with this. A lot of these guys come in and they've never been losers in their life. They won in high school, they won in college, and then they get drafted high, and they go to a shitty organization. Look at LaMelo Ball and Fox. Fox, the Kings were ass. And they finally built up and had a couple winning seasons, and then it slowly, looked like it fell apart a little bit. So now he's with Wynn over there in San Antonio.
Not winning organizations. The Spurs haven't been winners since.
No, they have not been a winner. They have not been a winner.
Bono and Tim and Parker.
But Spurs are building. Now, granted, Kings are too. They flipped it, got, like you said.
They definitely flipped the script, and they went and got, like I said, Valanciunas and Zach LaVine. I think Zach LaVine, with the parts they have there, fits very well. I'm curious to see what really happens. So, like I said, that was probably the second best trade.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
moving on to the biggest trade with the Lakers. And I showed my business.
Yeah!
He was like, "This is fake." I'm like,
"Oh, no." So
I don't.
We were at work when this trade broke. Randy came running to me, and I'm not going. I thought it was fake, bro. 2K didn't even allow it.
So we tried it. We tried it later.
Oh.
2K said, the
go ahead. Tell the people.
It was a 3-team trade. Lakers land Luka Doncic from the Mavs for Davis at a 3-team trade. Lakers got Luka, Max Keebler, and Markieff Morris, that comes back to the Lakers from the championship run. The Mavs got Anthony Davis and Max Christie and a 2029 first-round pick.
Shout out Danny Ainge over there in Utah, dog.
All the Mavs got. And then the Jazz got Jalen Hood, 2025 second, and a 2025 second from the Clippers. And the Jazz, like you said, the GM said, well, if I knew what was going on, I wouldn't have been a part of it, but I didn't know. What do you mean you
didn't ask enough questions.
Well,
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but
it was kept behind closed doors. It was about, they said about 3 weeks talks. And to be fair, the Mavs GM...
Could you imagine the GM called you up? You're Rob Pelinka. I ring you. Hey, man, you want to talk about a trade? Man, we want AD. Man, I'm giving you AD. 3 weeks later, come back. What if I gave you Luka? I hung the fucking phone. But did this break off?
Well, apparently this whole started over coffee about 3-4 weeks ago. In Dallas, it started over coffee. They were talking about it. And you made a point where, like, we all kind of were dogging Rob Pelinka, not knowing what he's doing. You're like, but he just landed Luka. Was it Luka or was it the owner Jeannie Buss? Honestly, I think it was Jeannie Buss. Because then we saw the trade that we fast forward on the trade deadline that he did.
Now, we want to remind you that Luka did not ask for a trade.
No, nobody knew this was trade going. This was
LeBron James apparently didn't even know about this trade going down. Because the Lakers had just finished up the game at Madison Square Garden where they won without AD because AD was dealing with his injury.
Abdominal
strain. LeBron was out to eat with the family out there in New York and got a call that Luka is there. Now, the details of this trade after you set it down, like, damn, why did the Mavs get rid of Luka Doncic? Well, for a lot of people that don't know, Luka was up for a serious supermax contract. 5 years, $345 million. He is no longer eligible for that contract now that he's been traded. He's now going to lose $117 million, which, okay, cool, but you're in LA now. You're going to make that money up. But if he re-signs, he has 2 years left. He's able to sign. He has 1 year left. Could sign in the offseason. But the thing about this trade that is puzzling is the Dallas Mavericks were concerned about Luka's conditioning, his weight. They said he got to 270 pounds. But to whatever weight he was at, he led this team to the Western Conference Finals, got them to an NBA Finals, and was giving the boys that work. So,
and look, if 270 Luka's 30,
I just want to remind the people that Zion made it to the trade deadline down there in New Orleans, eating gumbo, and he didn't get traded.
Do you not maybe think that's maybe a testament on maybe the Pelicans not maybe trying to move him, but more the fact that no organization wants to touch Zion?
I probably wouldn't want to touch
Well, we'll talk about that maybe. We'll talk that a little later on. Maybe a little later on in another episode.
Another thing that was even worse about this trade is Jason Kidd, the head coach of the Dallas Mavericks, did not know that this trade.
Well, it was okay, like I said, hush, hush. They said
the press conference between Nico
Ooh.
And just get Jason Kidd look like he wanted to come across that table and hand out an ass whooping of the agent.
Jason Kidd did his he did his best to keep his composure, it looked like. But like I said, they seemed like they kept it between owners and GMs.
Now, real quick, I'm going to let Brandon finish this up real quick as we end here. Luka was eligible for a 5-year, $346 million Supermax contract, which would have been the biggest contract in NBA history. Now that he's traded, he's only eligible for a 5-year, $229 million, which is $117 million only. Luka is now teammates with LeBron.
Yep.
He's in LA. The Lakers also did make another trade for Mark Williams that we did not talk about. Dalton Knecht, their 17th overall pick. He was sent to the Hornets. Now, this Mark Williams kid, he's 23. He's 7'2", and he's got a lot of his length and his. We have been
compared to win. He can touch, he can dunk, and doesn't have to jump. In the past 10 games, so it's a 10-game stretch, and again he plays with the Hornets. A lot of people question his tenacity, like his energy.
Yeah.
When you play on the Hornets and you get blown up by 25, 35, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to try to make that extra little effort. In the past 10 games, the dude was averaging about 22 points, 12 boards, and about a block and a half a game. Now, that's no AD. He won't be an AD, but he's young. He's a lob threat, which we all know how we can feel about those lobs.
He's a rim protector as well.
How, Bron can do also with a big like that. Put him in a little pick and roll. That's probably for the best.
But now, Luka has the ability to absolutely be the face of the league. You are very excited.
I was a Mavs fan, a Luka fan. Then the trade happened and digested everything. And I was like, man, I kind of want a Luka jersey now. I didn't want a Luka jersey before, but now I kind of want a Luka jersey. And I'm like, man, when Luka plays, I don't care I don't care what's going on. Luka plays for some of LeBron. I'm here. I'm watching it. It's projected now. Supposedly, that viewership's going to.
He went from the number 6 selling jersey to the number 1 jersey. He is the number 1 selling jersey.
The biggest market. And the small little conspiracy is that the NBA, kind of not necessarily forced this trade, but
they didn't
interview. Hey, maybe we should kind of do this. But viewership's going to skyrocket. You're going to see a lot more of Luka. And honestly, generational talent, 25 years old, being traded for AD, a 32-year-old guy. It's funny, real quick. AD was injured dude with the Pelicans. Got with LeBron James and the Lakers. First year there, a little bit. Second year, not really. Kind of some nicks and strains. As a big man, you're going to bang. He's on the smaller side as a big, playing 5. With the Mavs, he's going to be with Kyrie playing the 4. With Lively, they're playing the 5. You're going to get, and took in everything off the world the Olympics. If Luka does the same with LeBron James,
it's gonna be great.
Well, he's gonna get that more down to 240. He going to go. He going posterize something. He going posterize.
This is gonna be. We're gonna end this on this. There's a lot of people, analysts, Hall of Famers that say, well, LeBron and Luka can't play together because LeBron needs the ball and LeBron can't play off the ball. LeBron's been waiting for fucking years to play off the ball, to not have to bring the motherfucking ball up. Now he's got Luka. Luka 3 quarters all year. 4th quarter, here comes LeBron. Well rested and ready to go. You are fucked.
You're going to see I think probably once they get it figured out, and probably more playoffs.
You literally saw a play where LeBron backdoor cutting without the ball and got an M1 and looked over and Luka goes, we about to fucking do this to them. Has it practiced with? He didn't practice with him yet. Nothing. And literally looked at that man mid-game and goes, we about to do this. LeBron's career, honestly, you heard a tweet about LeBron in his 30s. This might be over. Now it's 40. Shit, you might get that tweet in his 60s, dog. You might get it.
I think you're going to see a more defensive-minded LeBron James.
Yes.
Versus more try to send my energy on defense. I think you're going to see a little bit more defensive-minded Bron. And let Luka be Luka. Let Luka average his 30, 35 points.
Absolutely.
And his, about 8 to 10 assists and about 8 boards. He's good. LeBron's going to be a little bit more defensive minded to really kind of actually make this work. And
it's just this trade has heightened the NBA season a hell of a lot more. You have Ant talking about I'm getting a front row seat to his first game. They've already announced whenever Luka plays, nationally televised game. They don't even care who the fuck it's against. It's nationally televised. So definitely stay tuned. We're going to bring you a lot more. The Super Bowl's this weekend. NBA's getting that much closer. College basketball, we're going to start bringing in more. We're going to start getting a little bit more diverse here now that the NBA season's wrapping up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. NFL season's wrapping up. Sorry. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. We appreciate you guys so far. We're already at 174 subscribers. Check out the drink reviews. Shirts coming soon. We'll see you guys next week.